what a disappointing night on Sunday Night Football. What a disappointing night for the Browns. And Baker's going to get pinned for it in many ways, and he deserves to be pinned for some of it. A couple of his throws were sailing, and a couple of his throws when he's looking for his second and his third option were off. He's not perfect, man. He's not perfect, and the problem for him is he's measured against two other guys in his draft class who have zoomed off the launching pad in a way that he has not done consistently enough. And even last night, one of those quarterbacks, the other being Josh Allen on Thanksgiving night, we saw what he did. And even he is more up and down than I would like, but it's definitely more up than down. But even on a night when Lamar Jackson is picked off four times, Baker Mayfield doesn't look good in comparison. And that's part of his problem. And part of the Browns' problem is whatever they're doing right now isn't working. If I'm Kevin Stefanski, I use this bye week to totally change everything up. I figure out what are we doing right now that is not clicking and pull a Costanza and do the opposite. With the exception, obviously, of removing your quarterback. And I'm glad to hear last night when that was brought up to Stefanski, he laughed it off. Case Keenum's not the answer, Browns fans. He ain't the answer. Getting the running game going around Baker Mayfield is, and having some receivers who can separate and catch the football would be another. And telling Baker Mayfield whatever he is doing post-snap, to try and figure out where to go with the football, or mechanically, whatever he's doing to go with the football, this may be something he can't fix because he's hurt. Just kind of slow it down a little bit and try not to do too damn much. On occasion last night, I saw that. And then the play calling by Stefanski. I mean, they got a gift turnover back after they lost it because for some reason, after Mayfield throws a 40-yard completion down the field, Stefanski decides to take his guy out of rhythm and give the ball to Jarvis Landry to throw. I mean, what's up with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then,
so weird.
Right, then they get the ball back because they turn Lamar over.
Immediately.
And I'm just thinking, just run the damn thing. I don't care if there's 8 guys there. You gotta get this thing established somehow, some way. And Baker fades back, and he tries to do too damn much. Instead of getting rid of the ball right away, ball's on the ground. And that wound up giving Justin Tucker another shot at the end of the half. So the play calling's off. They're dropping the football. They didn't run the ball very well, and they still damn near won the game. Because Baker's got some freaking moxie to him, man. And that defense was terrific last night. But unfortunately for Baker, he doesn't have that B button. Or whatever these kids call it right now, to spinorama. I mean, Lamar Jackson is unbelievable. And maybe his best attribute, not his legs, not his arm, and maybe not even his heart, it's whatever's in between his temples that makes him say, all right, we'll just do it again. All right. I just threw a pick. All good. Like, not once did I sit there and think last night that they would do something else or he would get down on himself. Not for a split second. I just thought, okay, that's another one.
His confidence is amazing.
Honestly, I sat there and I thought to myself, that's just -2 for whoever's got him in fantasy. That's
I was
it.
say also the
That's
confidence, but the short memory.
It's it.
Yeah, very short.
It's like one of those relief pitchers you need to have, one of those closers.
Or a good good cornerback. You get burnt once.
But the problem for the NFL is he's the starter and a closer and the middle. He's all that. I mean, it's unreal how many times he's down but never out. And you could say that perfectly captures the entire Ravens season with the amount of injuries and ups and downs, but more ups than downs. And they're the 1 seed right now. And you look at the Browns and you're like, that's a wrap on the division?
For the Browns?
Yeah. Their one path to the division is if somehow, some way, the Ravens start losing to the Steelers, right? And they beat the Bengals, and the Bengals suddenly, stumble, and their only way to win the division is they've sweep the Bengals, and the Bengals are the only team that they have to leapfrog when it's all said and done. But that means they've got to beat the Ravens coming out of their bye. So whatever they're doing, I'm already hearing in Cleveland they're talking about maybe having Stefanski give up the play calling. Maybe that's a good idea because last night, and I know this is armchair stuff, but I'll say it, right? Because that's the only
what we do here.
That's where I watch these games from. But I forget which turnover it was. I think it was the fourth and final turnover. It was the one. Honestly, it was the one. The one where Lamar put it up for Andrews and the Browns defender, instead of being called for pass interference, turned his head around just in time, made the interception. I don't know who that was off the top of my head. I didn't write it down. And then they cut away to Stefanski. And I'm thinking you're going to see like a coach who's just like slapping guys on the helmet. He's already in his play sheet, like looking down, like, he's just had a, cup of coffee and just getting ready for a couple of Joe. And sometimes your coach, you got to, and I know that's total armchair stuff and that the team might not need his rah-rah, but he's already into the next play sheet. Sometimes as a head coach, you got to just be the head coach. You have the preemptory to maybe change a play that Van Pelt calls, but maybe that's what you need. There was that moment. He just cut away. There he is in his play sheet. Okay. Yep. Maybe Baker's the emotional guy that you rally around, and the coach doesn't need to do that. But one thing that I haven't met in terms of interviewing Stefanski and chatting with him is he's smart enough to know what I'm talking about right now. Because whatever they're doing sure ain't working. And the Ravens sniffed it out and just snuffed it out. And Baker doesn't have that ability like Lamar to just say, screw it, I'm doing it myself. And that may be unfair to say because there's receivers that got open for Lamar that did not get open for Baker.
Baker was also
last
hurt
night.
Too.
Right. No, I know that. Yeah. But it's going to all get pinned on him. And, these next few games for the Browns, to me, are not just a referendum on whether Stefanski can change things up when need be, but maybe this is not the right spot for Baker Mayfield. We're heading towards that crossroads. That whatever the system that's there for the coach and whatever they're doing to put people on the field, it's not right for Baker. Maybe he's not right for them. Drew Brees found another spot, made the Hall of Fame. Maybe that's what Baker needs too. Because I think he's really good. Last night it sure wasn't. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.